Hey guys, let us go into today's analysis. But before we go into that, we are just one game, past the halfway stage of the season's IPL. So we have had some really exciting games. We've had some last ball finishes, last over finishes, nail biting stuff. So based on those games, I thought I'll just personally my top five games that stood out this season so far in the first half of the IPL. These are my top five, games. If you agree with this, just comment on if you also have the same ranking of the games. If you felt that these were the games that you really enjoyed the most, or was typical, IPL nail-biting finale kind of games, or if you feel that there needs to be any other games that I missed out in this list that needs to be added with explaining why you would suggest to include that game instead of the ones that I'm suggesting. So just comment that in my video. So let us get into my list. Number five is the game between RR and GT at Ahmedabad. So Ahmedabad has been predominantly known for the chasing team to win this season. And in that particular game, GT put up a pretty formidable total of 177 for 7. And RR chasing that didn't exactly get off to a great start. They lost a couple of quick wickets. Mohammad Shami bowled brilliantly in the power play, and they looked done and dusted. They looked out at 66 for 3, I think, after 12 overs. Then cometh Sanju Samson. Rashid Khan, the best T20 bowler in the world, got whacked for 3 sixes in the over. They required around 13 runs per over at that point, and that gave RR the momentum that completely changed the momentum of the game. And they ended up winning the game quite comfortably. In the last over, they needed only 7 runs to win. Last 2 overs, they needed 23. In the last over, they needed only 7 runs to win. And Hetmeyer played an amazing finishing role in that game and took RR home. So that for me, is the number 5 game of the season for me. Number 4, CSK versus RR at Chepauk. Again, CSK's record at Chepauk is formidable. Everybody knows that. They're very strong at home. RR came to Chepauk without their key bowler, Trent Bolt, who missed out due to a niggle. It was Sandeep Sharma's first game of this IPL. Rajasthan were put into bat by CSK, who won the toss, and they did a pretty good job. They actually put up somewhere around 176 or 177, I think, 175, I think, somewhere in that range. And that was a very formidable total at Chepauk, because Chepauk is a 2-pace wicket that assists spin. It's not exactly easy for the chasing team to score, and RR had a very potent spin unit, and they choked CSK for large parts of the middle overs. And it looked like it was done and dusted, because by the time after 18 overs, CSK needed 40 runs to win. But then the last 2 overs were bowled by Holder and Sandeep Sharma. Holder went for 19 runs, I think, and they needed 21 runs of the last over. And CSK managed to score, 2 sixes. First ball was a wide, and then it was 2 sixes, two sixes scored, and then it came to a point where they needed 7 of 3 balls. And then Sandeep Sharma nailed 3 brilliant Yorkers on point, and won them the game. So that was another nail-biting game that, according to me, was worth every penny. So that comes at number 4. At number 3, I would pick RCB versus LSG at Chinnaswamy Stadium. So again, that game, everybody knows Chinnaswamy Stadium. It's a run-fest stadium. It is known for a team scoring 200 plus runs, and the chasing team chasing it down pretty comfortably. The first part of it did happen. RCB scored 220 for 2. They had an amazing outing. Faf, Kohli, and Maxwell, they all had proper innings. And then LSG got stuck. I mean, they were pulled back. They were 23 for 3 after 6 overs, after the power play. They looked gone. And then Stoinis stepped up. Stoinis played an amazing knock silently. He brought them, he made sure the run rate didn't go past 12 or 13 per over, and kept them in the hunt. But he still lost his wicket after the 13th or 14th over, somewhere around that point. I don't remember exactly. cometh Nicholas Puran. Nicholas Puran came and he just absolutely took the game by the scruff of his neck, and you know, he took them to a very comfortable stage. He got out, and after that also, you know, LSC who would have easily comfortably won it, almost, you know, almost to mess it up. When Unadkat needed 1 run of 2 balls, he tried to go for a big shot and got out, and then Avesh Khan came, and then, you know, he missed it. It was a bye, but Dinesh Karthik also missed it, and finally they scampered through for a single and they won that. So that was a very close game, which they ended up winning. So that for me, you know, goes at number 3. Number 2 for me is LSG versus GT at LSG's home, which happened very recently. GT scored 135 in the first 20 overs. LSG is not known to be a high batting ground. It was a very, very difficult pitch to bat on, and LSG bowlers bowled brilliantly, now especially Naveen ul Haq in the power play and in the death. Not to mention Bishnoi got hit a little bit. Krunal Pandya bowled brilliantly. I think he picked up 3 wickets in that game. 135 is a very, very easy score to chase, and LSG were, you know, they were cruising. They were in cruise control. They needed 39 from 45 balls at one point. Then it became 30 from 30, which is still a run a ball, which you would back the team to score. But GT pulled off a win from there. They choked them. The next 5 overs, they didn't concede more than, I don't think even a single over they conceded more than 6 runs. Absolute pinpoint death bowling and very piss poor, you know, death over batting by LSC made sure that GT won that game comfortably out of nowhere, out of the blue. A game that they should have lost. They pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and they won that game. So that again is, you know, that goes out. That for me is like the number 2 game of the season. What's the number 1 game of the season? I think it's pretty obvious, isn't it? GT versus KKR. KKR looked almost done and dusted. Again, Ahmedabad, they looked gone. They looked out in that game when they needed 29 runs of that last over, which Hardik Pandya missed that game. It was captained by Rashid Khan. So Rashid Khan even picked up a hat-trick in that game. When Venkatesh Iyer played beautiful knock, but then he got rid of Venkatesh Iyer, Sunil Narayan and Shardul Thakur. He got a hat-trick in 1 over. I think that was the 17th over, if I'm not wrong. And Yash Dayal had to bowl the last over to a Rinku Singh who had played in 2 overs and looked set to, who was hitting it pretty cleanly. And cometh Rinku Singh, they needed 29 of the last over. Umesh Yadav got a single of the first ball, and bang, 5 sixes. He scored 30 runs of the last 5 balls. Took KKR home like a boss. And that, according to me, I think that chase would go down not only just this year, I think it would go down as the best final over chase in IPL history. I don't think there is another game in IPL history where 29 runs has been chased down in a single over in the last over. So that was the game of the season, in my opinion. The chase of the season, in my opinion. Rinku Singh, absolute colossal stuff. Hats off. So that is my top 5 games for the season. So I just thought I'll pop this in for the day. Coming up next is my analysis for today's game, RR versus CSK at Jaipur. Just hold on, I'll be back with my analysis in a few minutes. Take care.